fellow heathens, it's Liz, and I am doing a video response today, a VR, to Bonnie over at Old Soul Mermaid's discussion about things that were happening in the community lately, the tarot tube community, and specifically regarding whether or not having a big collection is spiritually relevant, and if it's a good thing to have a big collection, whether you should collect or not. We've had multiple people put out videos regarding, including myself, regarding downsizing their collection, culling their collection, decluttering videos. We also had a YouTuber completely take his collection from hundreds of decks down to about 12 decks total, and just keeping the discussion going. Before I talk about why I think a lot of us in 2020 did purchase a significant amount of decks, I wanted to talk about my own journey. I myself did do that in 2020 especially. I had been collecting tarot for several years, and I love tarot, and I still do, but I think that I took my retail therapy to a whole new level in 2020. And I think that it was getting to a point where I wasn't quite bonding with the decks that were coming in. I was buying decks that I thought I would like, but I wasn't sure I would love. And then I got them and I just wasn't called to work with them. And I started asking myself, what am I doing? Like, this isn't, for me, what is going to fulfill me long term. And we had other YouTubers discuss being perfectly fine and okay with continuing to purchase decks whenever the need or desire calls to them. And I wanted to kind of express kind of a you do you opinion about it, because if it's something that you feel makes you happy and it's something that is going to continue to bring you joy, I say do it. But at the same time, if collecting has gotten to a point where you have become acutely aware of how it's affecting your life and how you're more drawn to the shopping of tarot than actually using the tool of tarot, if that's something that is beginning to bother you, then it's something that we can kind of start talking about as a community as well. As far as addictions go, it is of my opinion that addiction has many levels, many layers, and many faces, basically. So there are hard addictions, of course, as we know, that pertain to drugs and alcohol, and things like gambling, and we can get to softer addictions like cell phone use and so many things. And I'm not going to go through everything because I don't want to upset anyone, but addictions can be something as simple as misusing something as a distraction from things that are happening, from the present moment, things like that. So for me, I was definitely doing that, and I would consider it a soft addiction because it was something that I just kind of zoned out and started shopping online and watching walkthroughs, and it was like that dopamine hit in my brain. And then if I got it in the mail, it was super exciting and all of that, and it was just nice to like go through it for the first time, and then I would put it away and I wouldn't use it. And I feel that I was craving more of an authentic connection with my decks, and I could really understand what each one was there to offer me spiritually. So that is what prompted my journey with these videos and this decluttering, the collection inspection videos. Now I wanted to kind of talk about something called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And many of you will probably know what this is if you've taken any classes in psychology, or if you understand, what motivates people, what motivates people's behavior. And what this is, I'm going to read from here. This is from an article from simplepsychology.org. It's from Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a motivational theory in psychology comprising a 5-tier model of human needs, and it's depicted as a pyramid. From the bottom up, there are deficit needs or deficiency needs moving up through growth needs. Well, the deficiency needs arise due to deprivation and are said to motivate people when they are unmet. So before we move from that, I wanted to talk about what 2020 did to us. So before COVID happened, we were kind of up here, as a community. We were able to continue to fulfill our dreams. And of course, that's not always the case. If you lose your job, you're going to be plummeted down to these lower levels. But as a world, as a country, as a total global effect, we all kind of went down to the physiological needs level. So if you look at the bottom, we have our physiological needs. We have our need for air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, and reproduction. So a lot of those things were in jeopardy, as well as our safety, because it was a pandemic and we didn't know how the virus would affect us, and our families. And we just saw the death numbers on the screen just ticking away every single day. So our safety was for sure threatened. Personal security, employment, lots of us, including myself, lost our jobs. Resources, health, and property. So that was in jeopardy as well. And in the love and belonging section, our friendship, intimacy, family, and our sense of connection was completely shut off. We weren't able to visit our friends and family like we were used to. We weren't able to go out and do fun things as a group. We had to be alone. We had to distance ourselves from each other. And that was an extremely difficult thing for many of us to do. So that affected us mentally as well. And our esteem, our respect, our self-esteem, status, recognition, strength, and freedom were also threatened. So I know myself, I gained weight during 2020 because, you just need to feel satisfied in a way. And I feel like some of us were filling that gap, that hole within us that COVID and 2020 and all the chaos that was happening during the year had left in us. Whereas before, with our self-actualization, our desire to become the most that one can be, isn't that what tarot does for us? It is a tool of personal growth and self-understanding and self-awareness. And these are all very spiritual, very noble aspirations. But then when COVID happened and everything absolutely stopped, we all kind of were putzing around in these lower levels. And I think that had a huge psychological effect. And it was traumatizing. And I think that for many of us, buying tarot was a way to we were stuck in these lower levels, but we were kind of like trying to climb our way out, even though we couldn't. Because we were in lockdown, isolation, some of us got COVID. Everything was in flux. Nothing was known. Everything was changing. I can remember going to the store and obviously we had the toilet paper shortage, but there wasn't any food either in many of the areas that I was accustomed to always seeing. So I couldn't do the recipes that I was, expecting and used to cooking. I had to improvise. And then, there was the whole hoarding element because we felt, as a nation that, oh my gosh, what if the trucks stop? What if transportation stops? What if this, what if that? I need to be able to survive a couple of weeks. What if the water stops running? And I'm sure that those who experienced that deep freeze over in Texas felt that same way too. And twice, in 1 year, if it was 2021, but 2 times so close together must have been absolutely terrifying. So being in those lower levels again, being in that place where your physiological needs and your safety needs are in question, what do you do? And for many of us, all we really wanted was some feeling that things were going to be okay again. And so being at home, of course, you're going to be looking online more and watching TV more and doing things around the house, but trying to grasp for the places that we used to be able to be in with tarot was, I think, something that, made us feel safer. And I think that, at least for me, that's the case. And I can't speak for everyone who may have had an experience in 2020. But I think it's almost like collectively we realized something was shifting. And I think we all kind of like snapped out of it when things started to return to normal, and we started to ask ourselves, what am I doing? I feel that many of us were craving more of an authentic connection with our tarot decks versus a superficial one where you just purchase and you acquire for that feeling of safety and that need for security. But I think that we kind of all woke up to realize that it's something that we wanted to maybe put the brakes on. So I think that, again, wherever you are in your tarot journey is where you are, and it is something to embrace. And neither the purchasers and the declutterers should feel any shame regarding their behavior. This is something that is a very personal and unique experience for all of us, and it's something that whatever it is that makes you happy, whatever you're craving, whatever your needs are, that's for you to decide. And I hope that we can support each other no matter what decisions we make, and not, decide, well, this is better than this, so I'm going to, virtue signal on the fact that I don't think that what you're doing is right. We can do better than that. We can support each other better than that. And I hope we will, and I know we will. So thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. As always, thanks for watching, and if you found value in this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more tarot-related content like this. Ring that bell to be notified whenever I upload new stuff, and don't forget to listen closely to the whispers of the heathen within that already has the answer and knows the path that's right for you. Until next time, be brave, be bold, be you. Bye.